has been focused on, and that is reaching out to the owners and looking at all possible legal action that can be taken if this complex does not come quickly in compliance. And we are looking at taking civil action, injunctive action against this apartment complex if they do not quickly come into compliance on all of the areas that we have identified. So let me just pause very quickly, because I think it would be helpful to hear from some of the representatives from the city departments that have been out here and what they have found. Let me start with HPD and Chief Tenant. You can call on whomever.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to say really quickly, because I'm going to call up Sergeant Rock from our apartment enforcement unit. When people pay their rent in the city of Houston, everybody has a right to live in a respectful residence or apartment. And we want everybody to do their job. And not only this complex, Mayor has directed us around the city to step up our inspections and enforcements of owners, number one, and management companies that's not making the mark. And we're going to be laser focused on that this summer and going forward. So, Sarge, you can update them. Sergeant Rock.
Good morning, everyone. Our job apartment Our job with apartment enforcement of the city of Houston is to inspect the apartment complexes, inform the owners and management of their deficiencies, and then assist them to get their complex and community better livable conditions for the people who are living there. We came out to this particular complex and we noticed numerous deficiencies. First being the gates at the complex. None of the pedestrian or vehicular gates are working. So people are able to come in and out 24 hours a day, which is a bad element for the criminal community, being able to come in and do their crime and then just walk straight out. We need those gates to be secured. Secondly, we noticed there's a lighting deficiency in several areas where we have a lot of dark spots. Dark areas promote crime, so we need to get them to fix those deficiencies as well. And then thirdly, the main thing was, of course, the trash. The trash was just out of control. The dumpsters were overflowing, and the residents didn't have anywhere to put their trash, so of course they were just stacking it up beside the dumpster. And that was because of a contract that was not renewed. But that's the responsibility of the management and the owners of the complex. So they were able to clean up the trash issue, but we have other criminal aspects of the apartment complex that we need to get addressed as well as one particular building here that is vacant and needs to be boarded up because we have the homeless who are breaking windows and getting inside and are living inside of these vacant units. But right now we're working with management the best we can to get the complex back up to where it needs to be.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Chris Butler, representing Houston Public Works and Permitting.
Good morning. My name is Chris Butler with Houston Public Works, the director of the Houston Permitting Center. I'm standing here with Mr. Byron King, our building official for the city of Houston, and Mr. Mario Carter, one of our assistant chiefs in our habitability section. Mr. Carter has been out here since last Thursday inspecting individual units. If you notice, some of the stairwells have orange paint. Those have been deficiencies that have been detected by our habitability group. Mr. Carter and his team have been inspecting, have given a list of deficiencies to the complex owners, and they have been out here since last Thursday monitoring and overseeing all of the construction activities to make sure that they're safe and they're sustainable development. We want to make sure that this apartment complex is safe and that it is secure. So Mr. Carter and Mr. King and myself will be out here to make sure that we get all the repairs done, that we make sure that the owner gets all the repairs done, and that they're done in a timely and efficient manner.
From solid waste. State, good morning. State who you are.
Hi. Good morning. Tyra Wilkins, PIO for solid waste.
Denise Hinojosa with solid waste.
Inspector.
I'm a city inspector with the city of Houston.
The City of Houston Solid Waste Management, as you all know, the City of Houston Solid Waste Management does the inspections for the dumpsters within the apartment complexes. A timeline of events did take place for this particular apartment complex, and the dumpsters were inspected and in violation, and they were also coded and sent various notifications to the companies office to notify of those violations. Within those violations, again, the coding's happening over and over again. Within that, a time frame is delivered to the company where they have to make sure that they remove all the debris that is left out within the dumpsters. And the day before their violation day would have expired on the 28th is when the cleanup did take place. For solid waste, we will be monitoring, or our inspectors will be monitoring, was on the monitor list for this particular apartment complex for every Wednesday to make sure that the dumpsters do stay under permitted construction laws and that they are not in violation.
Correct. And that'll be weekly. It'll be monitored weekly every Wednesday. As of right now, they're in compliance. Everything looks good.
Did I get everyone? Let me say that I've been in frequent communication with Arturo Michelle, the legal attorney. I have given instructions for them to prepare civil action against this apartment complex if they do not come in compliance in all areas. All of these reports from the various departments, including the health department, all of this is being conveyed over to legal. And what Arturo Michelle has said to me, there are certain corrective actions that have already taken place. They have drained the pool. They've picked up the trash. They said that they are going to be taking measures as it relates to the security gates and security around the premises in terms of the rodents, the health concerns. They said that they are bringing out a contractor immediately to address those concerns. We will see whether or not they do those things. If they don't, we will file a lawsuit against this a particular apartment complex and seek injunctive relief against them. And so, but our focus is on the owners of this complex and not just the management company, because they have a history of bringing in management companies or persons and then they simply go back out. But the point that I want to make is what Chief Fenner said earlier, and that is we are getting these, we're seeing these situations with these apartment complexes too often. So Timber Ridge is just one, okay? This strike force will be used on others as well. So let me give notice to them as well, is that if you do not take care of your properties and to avoid people living in substandard, unhealthy conditions, we will be coming after you, okay? Civilly, injunctively, whatever things we can do, we will be coming after you. So we're going to stay in, we're going to be monitoring this complex pretty much on a weekly basis to see whether or not they become compliant, but they need to move very quickly. Now we'll take it.
Do they have a deadline, sir? Do they have a deadline that they need to finish with these issues until this?
What I've said to Attorney Michelle, the legal department, is that we'll see what they do within 30 days. If not, we file the lawsuit. Okay?
Now, so we know there, as you mentioned, certain corrective measures in place. There are some people here who we've talked to who are living in those unhealthy conditions with rats in their apartment. Inside, they say it should be condemned. What's happening in the short term?
In the short term, for example, the pool has been drained. They have said that they are bringing contractors out to deal with the rodent infestation. Okay, we'll see exactly when that takes place, whether or not that's going to be this week or let's say Monday at the very latest.
But are they still having to live in those apartments with those? If that is a problem within that apartment, do they have anywhere else that they can go?
Well, that's the problem. For many of these individuals, their choices are very limited. Their choices are very limited. And that's why we are pushing the management and the owners of this apartment complex to take the corrective steps immediately, okay, immediately. Now, I said 30 days. Let me put it this way. If there is not definitive compliance, okay, that 30 days goes out the window and we go to the courthouse next week. So let me back up a little bit, okay? The situation that the people are living in right now is deplorable. And none of us would want to live in it. Because their ability to go to another complex is very, very limited. We're going to have to make sure that this apartment complex move immediately to address that situation. So let me just say this. We'll see what happens between now and Monday of next week. If we don't see any definitive action, then we'll move up our timeline.
Mayor, you referenced the strike team being able to go to other locations. Are there other apartments that you know of that they will be going to? Is there anything planned at this point in time?
There are other apartments out there that we need to address, and this strike team is in a position to move very, very quickly. Okay.
Mayor, so after, let's say next week, 2 weeks from now, is there someone that you have appointed to come and check up on these apartments? So how do you know that they're doing? What is the process after today?
Walter Hambrick is here. Where's Walter? Walter is my deputy chief of staff. Okay. Walter works with all of our departments. He's the second in command in terms of my staff. Walter comes out of Public Works, okay, and Walter is my deputy chief of staff. Walter will be overseeing the strike force team. So if you're needing any questions, quick answers, Walter Hambrick is available for you.
Many of the residents have told us that it has been nearly impossible or difficult for them to get in touch with management, property owners. What has it been like for you and your interactions with them? Are they well aware of where things stand?
Thanks to, number one, thanks to the tenants for bringing it to City Hall, and thanks to you all for the coverage you all have provided. We have been able to reach out and deal with the owners of this apartment complex, because our focus is not on the management teams. Our focus is on the ownership. They are the ones who are responsible for the conditions at this apartment complex, and they are the ones that we are saying need to take immediate steps in order to improve the conditions here. It makes no sense for tenants to be fixing their food, and you can't even close your eyes, and there come the rodents. It's simply deplorable. And the pictures that I have seen, it's just unsatisfactory. But because of your limited means, you should not be confined to squalor. And these conditions have been horrible. And that's why they need to move very, very, very quickly to address especially the health concerns, the rodents, the rats, and that's simply unsatisfactory.
And sir, as they wait in the middle and the interim for the corrective issues to take place for those who do have rodents and rats, are there other resources? Is there anything available to them?
I think if you check with us, I think we can tell you when the contractors are supposed to be out here. Okay, my hope is if they can get the contractors out here today. Quite frankly, they should have been out here a long time ago. But if you check with us later on, I think we'll be able to give you some information as to when the contractors are supposed to be out here. They have said that they are going to do that. They've said that to legal, and we'll follow up on that and get back with you today.
All right.
And just for me to understand, sir, how often does the city check this apartment complex for them to know that they're up to code?
We'll be out here at a very minimum on a weekly basis.
No, but like regular, do they check it every year, once a year, twice a year?
That I cannot
How's the
speak to.
process?
4 years, sir.
Want you.
Every 4 years.
The process, Byron King, the building official for the city of Houston. The process, according to the habitability ordinance, is every 4 years we come out.
So this is the first time that you guys heard about this situation?
No, we have cited them before. We've been out here 3 times previously within starting every 4th year, and they're up now for an inspection, which we've been out here all week.
But any calls will come out?
Oh, thank you. And if any tenants call or if they complain, and when they call 311, we'll be out also.
Okay. And then last, I would just say all of that will help with regards to a lawsuit that's been that we are contemplating. All of the citations that they have received over the years from the Health Department, Public Works, you name it, all of that goes up as a part of the potential lawsuit. Okay? All right. Thank you all so very, very much.
A couple other questions real quick.
I'm sorry.
You announced yesterday that monkeypox vaccines coming to the city, and you guys will be in charge of distributing it. If you could comment on that.
Yeah, as you know, the county judge, Lena Hidalgo, and myself asked for the CDC and the state to be providing us with more vaccines. As of yesterday, we did get word that we will be getting more vaccines. They're coming to the state, and then of the amount that's coming to the state, I want to say a little bit more than 17,000 will be coming to the city of Houston in three tranches, three levels of distribution. I think the first one will be 40% of that little over 17,000. It's my hope that we will be getting them soon. I won't say today, but they will be coming in before August the 8th. If you can recall, the health department earlier had put a hold on any more vaccines being distributed because we had maxed out with what we had. That hold is being removed, okay? Because we do anticipate at least 40% of that 17,000 will come into the possession of the city of Houston prior to August the 8th, and then we will be sharing that with the county and with some of the others.
And then also gun buyback program.
Yes, I'm excited about that, and that's taking place tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. Tomorrow, and hopefully people will come and take advantage of the program. And as you all can know, this is a gun buyback program that just wasn't announced yesterday. It is a part of One Safe Houston, and it was announced on February the 2nd, okay? It is not intended to, let's say, solve all of our crime problems, but number one, it highlights the fact that there are too many guns on the streets. Now, let me just say this. We are providing HPD, law enforcement, with the resources that they need. They are working overtime, over and above their normal shifts. But we are holding the line. There are guns that are coming into our city, coming into our county. There are way too many people with guns, and we're having to deal with all of that. The gun buyback program highlights that, number one. Number two, to the extent we can remove one gun that could be used to victimize or fatally hurt someone, then it's worth it, okay? So this gun buyback program will be at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church, starting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and hopefully people will take advantage of the program. But it is one element of many components of One Safe Houston. We're spending about $53 million in One Safe Houston. We've allocated $1 million to the gun buyback program. Tomorrow, we anticipate it could be up to about 100,000, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Okay?
Comment on it at all or no?
Mayor covered it.
All right.
Mayor covered it.
Okay?
Yeah. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Help us get
Oh, and let me just say this, 'cause I'm sorry. There may be some critics out there of the gun buyback program.
They want to get started.
You know, but let me just say this. You can criticize anything, okay? But the point is, no stone should be left unturned. No stone. And so we want to give police what they need, law enforcement. We want to use technology. We want to focus on the reentry program. We want community engagement and community involvement. We want to deal with crisis intervention. As you know, the Hire Youth program, we've hired over 14,000 youth from 16 to 24 this summer. And the gun buyback program is one element of many. Okay, thanks. I kind of got carried away.
Joaquin.
Hey,
Okay.
Joaquin.
Where are we walking?
Let's show them what you've been marketing, kind of walk them over.